everybody, and welcome to another edition of Film Ventures. For those who don't know, this is a show where I go to the movies, give you an early reaction and a post-reaction. If that makes any sense to anyone, let me know. Anywho, my reaction for today deals with the new film from David Fincher. It's Gone Girl. This is a movie that I have been looking forward to because it is David Fincher. He is David Fincher. I don't know, since The Social Network, I've been, keeping an eye on him because I really enjoy The Social Network. And this film at least looks in the same style of cinematography. It seems like you know a David Fincher movie by just getting the look of the movie. But this is a movie that's clearly got a mystery to it. It is based on a book, the same name, by Glenn something. Can't remember. Well, so much for being useful in that area. But I have not read the novel. That's what I'm trying to say. I have not read it. I do not want to read it or know any information because I would like to know very little, so I have a unique movie experience. That's how I see it. It's got a good cast. A rather interesting cast. Put just by looking at it, it's very different. It's just got a bunch of different names together. Particularly you've got Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. Obviously, those are the two big names. Hopefully Ben has a good performance. I'm on the fence with him most of the times. I kind of have to keep my distance from him. Because he can have a good performance. He has had good performance in the past, but then there are some that I don't care for. Hopefully he has a good one. There is word that he does have a good performance in this. Maybe. We'll see. We will just have to see. But I'm hoping that the mystery of this film isn't cliched. It's not something that seems so obvious. I really hope that's not the case with this one. I hope that David Fincher does something different with this movie. It's just hopeful it's another solid film from him. That's all I can hope for. So, with that in mind, it is time to head into the theater and check out the latest film from David Fincher. So I'll be back with my reaction to Gone Girl. Alright, I'm back from Gone Girl. What do I think of it? I liked it. I actually think it's one of David Fincher's better films. It may not be his best film, but I think it's one of his better ones. And I think it's a unique crime movie. Or a unique thriller. But I'm going to say this. Just warning without going into spoilers or anything like that. This is a movie you're probably not going to walk out happy. Just going to say that right now. You probably won't. You might be impressed with the film, but you might not walk out happy. You might have to watch something happy afterwards. Because this is not one of those movies that you can skip out the theater, just joy in your heart. No, this is a movie that takes you to places, and it's interesting. It is. And it's also one of those movies you don't watch more than once. You probably should watch this occasionally, randomly, at times, here and every now and again, but not continuously. It's not a movie you go see twice. Well, maybe if you want to get the details, or look at other things you missed the first time around. But anyways, from the movie itself, I thought it was hard to get into at first. The beginning, first act, it was really hard to get into. It was pretty quick. Like, the opening is really fast. The first part deals with telling us the linear story to the movie. There you go. And it segues into flashbacks of Rosamund Pike's character, Amy, writing in her diary. Now, it might seem a little confusing, but I think that was the point. It was supposed to feel confusing because when we get to the second act and the second part of the movie, that's when you realize what's going on. And actually, that's when the movie gets interesting. That's where the real thrilling stuff starts. It's not really trying to figure out the crime. It's finding out what happens after you find out everything else, and I can't really tell you because it's very spoiler heavy, and you're only going to know if you've read the book. This is one of those situations where I don't know how it goes with the book. Maybe it's different, maybe it isn't. I know the author, Gillen Flynn, and I remembered his name because I saw his name on the credits. There you go. Now I know his name. But, yep. Sorry. Blanked out for a second. But anyways, he helped with the movie a lot. I could tell. So, maybe it's closer than I might have thought. But, as the movie goes, I thought it was interesting. It kept me interested all the way through. It's a 2 hour and 25 minute long film, and if it engages you throughout that entire 2 hours and 25 minutes, you are doing a good job. As performances go, I like the cast. I really enjoyed Ben Affleck. I was worried for that first part. I was like, he seems so Ben Affleck-like. But he picks up real fast. He does. He does a great job as things go by. You see these dramatic scenes and these stuff going on. He does a great job. I am very impressed with him. And I was especially impressed with Rosamund Pike. I can't really go into that character. Sorry. But she has one hell of a performance. I think she had probably the best performance I've seen from her. Probably. Don't quote me. I also like, I don't know the actress's name, but Nick's twin sister. I loved her. She was interesting. She brought a different dynamic. She was the voice of reason for Nick. And she was a great supporting character. She was. It's interesting because Neil Patrick Harris is in this film, and he's billed like the third name, but he's not in it much. I just thought that was weird. It's really hard to talk about all this stuff because of spoilers. Really, it's just one of those movies you have to see, and then you can talk about it. So I'm going to jump into the cinematography, very much like a can't remember his name, David Fincher. There you go. Very much a Fincher film. Sorry, I'm blanking out here. Blanking out! Come on! Alright. But, yeah, and I think he had a great direction. I thought he handled things in his own way. That's all I can say. He handled it in a way where it felt like his style, but it was different. He handled it differently. I like how he worked with the narrative of the story. I thought he was going to go for the Social Network kind of idea where it's like 3 different parts and it's all kind of going at the same time, but it fits. And it's kind of like that, but I like just the way it plays and how the flashbacks in that first half, how the diary entries, how they work into the story. I thought that was handled fairly well. I also like the score from the composer I can't remember the name of. Go figure. But he's the same composer of The Social Network. I wasn't sure the music they used for the trailers of this film was the score of the movie, and it is. There's another interesting sounding score from him. That's all I gotta say. So, yeah, that's basically my thoughts on Gone Girl in a nutshell. That's my first reaction, and maybe if I think a little bit more about it, I'll realize, well, this movie wasn't that great, or something like that. Whatever. A lot of people were seeing this movie this day. I was surprised. I was really surprised at how many people were in the theater. And I think it says how that's going to turn out for this weekend. And I suggest if you are a moviegoer, if you are a movie buff, you're probably already heading your way to the theater to see this movie. And I recommend doing so. As I said, it's one of those movies where you don't want to watch it more than once. You just do not want to watch it. Or at least I don't want to watch it more than once. That viewing was enough for me for a while. I'll come back to it another time. But as a movie, it's interesting. It's a different kind of thriller. It plays with interesting ideas. And it does have you interested all the way through. I do highly recommend seeing it if you are a moviegoer. I do. Just go in cautiously. And I've got to say, I think it is one of David Fincher's better films. I think I just said Fincher earlier, didn't I? Well, don't judge. Okay, people, don't judge me. But that's going to do it for this edition of Film Ventures. Thank you guys for watching. Get any comments, leave below. And next week, I've got Dracula Untold, which surprised me when it changed dates so sporadically. but that's next week.